Calculating the roots of a quadratic in vertex form. To find the real roots or zeros of a quadratic function in vertex form requires that we find all values of x where f of x equals 0, or equivalently, where a times x minus h squared plus k equals 0. Solving for x leads to x minus h squared equals negative k over a, and finally, x equals h plus or minus the square root of negative k over a. The quadratic function f of x equals x plus 1 squared plus 1 is shown below. The graph of f has no x-intercepts and no real roots. To find the roots, solve f of x equals 0. We have x plus 1 squared plus 1 equals 0, x plus 1 squared equals negative 1, and that's impossible. You can't take the square root of a negative number, so there are no real roots. The quadratic function g of x equals x plus 1 squared is shown below. The graph of g has one x-intercept and one real root. To find the root, solve g of x equals 0. So x plus 1 squared equals 0, therefore x plus 1 equals 0, so x equals negative 1. The root of g is negative 1. The quadratic function h of x equals x plus 1 squared minus 1 is shown below. The graph of h has two x-intercepts and two real roots. To find the roots, solve h of x equals 0. We have x plus 1 squared minus 1 equals 0, therefore x plus 1 squared equals 1. So we take the square root of both sides, x plus 1 equals plus or minus 1, therefore x equals negative 1 plus or minus 1, giving us negative 1 minus 1, it gives us negative 2, or negative 1 plus 1 gives us 0. So the roots and the zeros here are negative 2 and 0.